Oh, you just jump in.
Well,
I won't stop talking otherwise.
Okay.
Hi, it's Kathy and Dave, and we wanted to say Happy Easter to everybody.
Happy Easter!
So today we wanted to, we were thinking about some things that we thought might be good to share, and realized we have a whole list of practical things that we've been doing that they've been helping us some, and others not so much, but we thought we'd share some of those ideas, and we'd love to hear some of your ideas also. First of all, just how are you feeling right now? How are you doing?
I am taking more and more naps. Usually maybe 2 naps a day.
So you're definitely tired.
So I'm much more tired.
I've been doing okay. I have my ups and downs. I'm kind of a moody person a little bit anyway. And so I have my good days and bad days. I'm the main person kind of right now that supports Kath. And so, but doing pretty good, okay, right now. So I do have to take care of myself, and that's kind of what we wanted to talk about, is just the things that help us take care of ourselves. We realized we had to adjust some things in our life. And so there's just a bunch of practical things. I took over the bill and the checks and the finances from Kath, and just kind of that gave me a peace of mind, and it gave Kathy relief from that. So that was one of the practical things we did. Another big thing that was a big help was we actually just got a big desk paper calendar, and just started writing all the schedule down in pencil, which was also helpful because we could erase things when we made mistakes. But we posted it on the wall, and it was just really good for Kath because she could go back. She didn't have to look it up on the computer, doesn't have to remember where it's at. She can just go into the kitchen wall and look on there and see what her schedule for the day is. And then I keep that same schedule on my phone, which really helps me.
Yeah, that was really helpful.
That was big.
I mean, we have like a huge calendar. Like, I can't even miss it.
Right.
So
we have a couple kids also in our family with their own activities. So it's just good to have everything written down, the times. So that was one of the really simple but practical things that we've done. That I wanted to mention, and I'm reading off my paper guy of a whole list of things. We got a plan. So there's so much to worry about when you first find out. And we're only 3 months into this or 4 months into this. And so generating a plan for yourself is really a big help to kind of relieve your mind and get at least the near term kind of set as to where you're going. So we did a couple things. One was we got all our personal orders in place.
Right. Yep.
And so that was kind of taken care of.
Went to the lawyer.
Right. Discussed all that with our kids. You know, that's a good thing that's helpful, and just as a peace of mind thing. And then kind of planning how and where you're going to be going for the next 6 months. So you don't have to keep rehashing that and worrying about that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So those are a couple of the really practical things. I wanted to talk about diet and exercise. This is a big area. And you know, there's a lot of opinions. We're not going to claim to know the right thing for you, but for us, we adjusted our diet. We really try to eat really healthy. I recommend a low sugar diet or no sugar diet. Drink lots of water. And I know those things seem pretty simple, but really found it to be helpful. Keeps your energy level up. And it's just good common sense health. And then exercise. Exercise is huge. It's one of the only things that has been scientifically shown to slow progressive diseases like Alzheimer's. And so if you can exercise, you know, even 4 or 5 times a week, doesn't have to be super strenuous, just get your heartbeat up a bit for 20 minutes or more. And so Kathy and I have both been exercising.
I've been exercising a lot.
And you look great.
Yeah, thanks.
And I do it because it's my biggest source of stress relief and relaxation for me. So it's got multiple reasons to do it, not just for your health, but also to manage your stress. There's a lot of vitamins out there and things like that. Our doctors recommended omega-3, fish oils, those types of things, and a lot of the B vitamins. So we recommend that if you can afford that, or that's something you like to do, look into vitamins. One vitamin in particular I will mention, which is vitamin B12. It's a special type of vitamin B12. It's called nicotinamide. How do you say that?
Where?
Right here. Yeah, we'll have Aaron put it on the screen for you. It's nicotinamide riboside. It's a special form of vitamin B12, and they're actually doing a clinical trial on this particular vitamin for Alzheimer's. I think it's out of the University of Houston, and they actually showed that it did have some properties that were very helpful for Alzheimer's and brain and dementia. Anyway, that's just something we'll throw out there. Be careful of scams. There's tons of people out there making claims and charging a lot of money, and we are in a desperate situation where we want to have hope. And so it's really easy to fall temptation to the first person that comes along with an Alzheimer's injection or some pill that supposedly helps. And the sad truth is, from what I understand, is right now there's no cure for early onset Alzheimer's disease. There are some medicines that slow it down, and those your doctor should already be prescribing those to you. And there are things that they think might be helpful, like vitamins and vitamin B12 I mentioned. And they can't hurt you, and they help you stay healthy and enjoy your life as much as possible. And so, but just be careful of scams. You want to say anything else about diet?
Well, I'm doing a lot of fish oil, like you said, and we cook with avocado and oil.
Yes.
And then we try to get a salad at any time. Maybe it's in lunchtime or dinner time. We try to get the greens.
Lots of greens.
Lots of greens.
Yep. And I've actually been losing weight, so that's an extra byproduct. Doctors are a big part of this, even though maybe not as much like if you have cancer or something where you're going to the doctor all the time for treatments. You still have doctors, and then there's some other support you can get in the medical field that maybe you haven't thought of that we've been getting, because we've been pretty blessed with some doctors that have been recommended a lot of different things for Kathi. So Kathy's getting both occupational and speech therapy, and it's just great. And if you can get that arranged in a situation where it doesn't cost too much, I highly recommend it. It's just so helpful to her. Mm-hmm. It's so positive, and then it's been a help to me to understand just kind of where she's at in the process. And then, like, she's struggling sometimes finding words. It gives her tools to remember to ask people to say things twice, to understand the certain areas that are going to be harder for her than others. Mm-hmm. And then it helps me, just as an example, when she took all her speech therapy assessments, one of the things is giving Kathi a big list of things to do is not a good way to communicate right now. So keeping it one or two things at a time is just a lot better, because her short-term memory's jacked up right now. And so just saying, hey, can you get this from the bedroom versus get these three things out of the bedroom just isn't going to work. And so that helps my frustration level, it helps her frustration level.
We go every Friday, and well, of course, it's amazing. It's just amazing, because it helps me figure out in my brain. It almost like hurts. and it just is so good for me. And I'm so grateful that our insurance had that for us, you know, because it's been, she can specifically tell you what, the 7 layers of Alzheimer's. She has been able to pinpoint
where you're at,
where I'm at,
and what things are helpful right now.
Right.
So when Kathi took all her speech therapy right now, she's still at mild cognitive. So that's of the 7 stages of Alzheimer's, that's stage 3. Stage 4 is moderate. She had a few things in the moderate phase, but in general, she's still at mild. So that's the scale that most people are familiar with on the Alzheimer's. So she kind of assessed you.
Yeah.
Took that test, and that's where you fell. And I want to throw a resource out there. There's a book out there, there's some resources called The Validation Breakthrough, and it's by Naomi Feld. And this is a really good resource because what it's going to do is it's going to help you with a technique for communicating with whoever in your family is struggling with Alzheimer's, especially when they start struggling more with their speech.
Yeah.
And so it just gives you some skills and techniques to help lower frustration levels and improve communication for both you and the person you're trying to communicate with. So just a resource out there, and that's the kind of stuff that we've been getting out of this. As far as occupational therapy, one of the big things is getting some guidance on driving, and so that's one of the things they provide, and that's probably one of the biggest things. But again, it's just another resource and another person you can have on your team that helps you.
Yeah.
So clinical trials, as you know, they're out there, and probably the best way to find out about clinical trials is the Alzheimer's website. So that's what I would recommend. We chose not to do that because it can be intrusive. It's not for everybody. The last thing I want to talk to you about is just the spiritual and social side. It's always hard when something like this comes along. And I think one of the big surprises for us is people don't know how to react. And with early Alzheimer's disease, there's a social stigma. I think with most fatal diseases, there's a social stigma. The thing we've discovered is after you kind of get over the initial shock of this, I think you can be the biggest helper of your friends and family to get comfortable. So I think it helps when you can get comfortable and you can be at ease to talk to people frankly and openly about what you're going through, and you kind of set the cues for them to be invited in and to be a part of what's going on versus just staying in this place of feeling uncomfortable. And I know this is going to be a little different for everybody, but I really recommend you be intentional about helping people to understand. And even though you're the one sick or your family or spouse is the one going through this, there's a huge benefit for you to still realize that you have a lot to offer. And one of the things you can offer is helping people to understand, become aware, learn how they can give, learn how they can engage and be helping you. But you have to help them too. And so I encourage you to not keep secrets. You don't need to hide your fear or your shame or your guilt or your anger or your sadness, but you do need to share them and say how you're feeling and what you're going through. And I think that invites people in and helps them to be more comfortable to ask questions and to walk side by side with you. And it's going to help you because one of the biggest things you need is to stay socially engaged with people and to continue to work your brain and exercise your brain and to enjoy the life that you have today, because we only get today anyway, promised to us. And it helps you to be positive, and it helps other people to know how to help you. I don't know if I said that well, but there is this social stigma to get over, and I really encourage you to recognize that and to help others.
We found a couple, and we have befriended them, and so I am still waiting for people to come
to reach out
and to if you have Alzheimer's or if you have
progressive
disease, we want to hear from you, and we want to hopefully have you
connect with us.
Yeah.
Right, because connecting with us helps us, and connecting with you, we hope, helps you. It's just so helpful to talk with another young couple that's around our age that has early Alzheimer's to just share the experiences. It's so validating to hear from somebody else that, hey, I'm tired too, or this is happening and it's scary. But to share that with somebody else that really understands is so helpful. And so,
it has been so good because I didn't realize, because sometimes I don't know if it's the medicine or if it's just Alzheimer's, but I get, like, I call them crackly legs, and I just was ignoring them, and but then my friend that has it, that he's like, oh, aren't those weird things on your legs, you know, or cramping, you know, kind of thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it is a thing.
So just keep pushing yourself and staying engaged. Kathi still takes guitar lessons. She still engages with the family as much. She doesn't, you know, social events tire her out more. So we've kind of learned to get the cues from each other. But she doesn't stop going. She's still pushing herself to be there and be out, and then just not overdo it. The last thing I want to say is just, especially today, it's Easter, is find your anchor. Go back to your roots, whatever it is that roots you or anchors you. For us, it's our faith, but it can be whatever you have. But try to find that and anchor down in it and reinforce it for yourself. You know, find support wherever you can get that. For us, it's in our church community, it's in our family, our neighborhood, you know, a support group, friends, online, whatever it is that works for you. You know, keep investing in that and find that anchor so you can continue to enjoy life and find meaning and purpose and keep a positive attitude. And, you know, we know we're only at the beginning stages of this, and there's going to be hard days ahead and different days ahead. But for right now, this is what we can do. And so we want to encourage you, like Kathi said, to reach out, tell us your story. If you need support, we'd love to be that for you.
Yes.
And happy Easter.
Happy Easter, and
peace out.
Peace out. Now you gotta do it together. Peace out.